What will be the growth rate in terms of Zapp users number in 2009 comparing to the previous year's dynamic?
I think this will be a year of growth for us because we have the UMTS network that's up and running. We have an expanded 450 network. We've increased the capacity in the system by 3 to 4 times. And we have a number of new services. The other thing that's major change for Zapp is actually going to more retail distribution.
So have you an actual numbers of the users, because all the communicates it's 2 years ago, 500,000. It's remain around 500,000
in that neighborhood. But you know, as I said, last year was a rebuilding year.
Mm-hmm.
This year will be an interesting year for growth. But you know, we only started end of December to sell Zapp products in stores like Metro, Carrefour, which we were never present in. So
mass market area.
Yeah.
The latest promotional campaign, Zapp No Pay, it's targeting mostly the mass market segment. How do you define Zapp market position? An operator focused on the business segment with the data offers, or on consumer segment with cheap tariffs? Because this is the big dilemma of Zapp.
Neither, actually. Our focus is to be more of a wireless ISP, wireless internet service provider. And the wireless internet service providers, if you look at internet service providers, are providing voice as well. And so our mentality around our tariffs, everything is around the internet. And that includes all the voice products. So if you look, tariffs from internet service providers for voice are always the cheapest in the business, because it's an annex to their core business. And that's the mentality that we have. So that will benefit both the business and the consumers, because the businesses are using more and more data for their business, and because it's efficient. It's very, very efficient. I can show you analysis of people who use data in their business. Their productivity levels are higher by 5, 10, 15%. Especially with some of the products that we have, like the messenger products, which are pushing your traditional fixed data services out into the mobile world cost effectively. Because you can do a lot of things today, but you can't do it cost effectively. And we see that in Romania, if you have a certain price, you get 1 or 2 people using it. Once you drop below a certain level, then everybody uses it. Right?
You build in Bucharest, for example, some free internet area?
We have some tests going on, but we haven't opened it up to the public for free access to the internet.
In the university or other?
One project that we have is in university, another project is in downtown. And some projects are outside of Bucharest. But the concept is not so much the fact that it's free internet. The concept is more that when you are on your mobile, you can use a lot of the services for the low cost that you're used to on doing that. Whether it's email, whether it's web browsing, whether it's messenger. The mentality is very much focused on the wireless ISP. So the mentality is cost-effective communication and efficient communication. So if you look the way everybody communicates today, 5 years ago people communicated 99% in voice, right? Now voice is smaller percentage of the actual communication flow. And our mentality is to go faster even in the market on pushing those services. So whether it's email on the go, whether it's IM or messenger on the go, whether it's text or voice messenger on the go, the ability to communicate while you are outside of your work location. And I think that a lot of what we do is complementary to what you do at home. So I think the older strategy was either you're on wireless or you're on wired. We see more and more people who are on both.
How do you perceive the current year for the Telemobil given the market contractions and the global financial crisis?
Telemobil has been around for a while, and Telemobil has always been value for your money. And I think that when the market was not having problems, People are less concerned about getting value for money. They have too much money going around. And I think that what is strange is that this market contraction is probably good for Telemobil, because we continue with our philosophy of high value for money. And now that people have less money to spend, they will focus a bit more on how they spend it. It could be neutral to beneficial for us, not negative, I think. Mm-hmm. Because we have a small customer base, so a contraction in the market doesn't affect us very much. And customers are going to be looking for better and better deals, and Zapp has always had very good deals, as well as very good innovation. Some of the things that we do are not, they will save you money, not by reducing the price, by letting you work differently.
So in these terms, you can define 2009 like a good year for Telemobil, because the crisis is very good for your plans.
It's, let's say it doesn't hurt us anywhere near what other people hurt us, because I think everyone will focus on cost. Everybody will focus on productivity and efficiency. And what we are doing is we're trying to come up with products that increase the efficiency, not just of the CEO or the CFO of a company, but all the way down to the drivers almost, right? And but you cannot do that for packages that have 500 euro phones at 50 euros a month, right?
Okay. The data services didn't prove to be the main driver for the mobile operators' revenue growth. Do you think 2009 is going to be the year when the data and voice balance will put the more focus on the data services?
Yes, it already started for us last year. I mean, if you look at the surprising thing last year was that the retail data, not business data, has been growing much, much faster than the voice data. So it's an interesting one. I mean, the Christmas sales were surprising to us to see prepaid data. We have prepaid data, for example, on 3G and on 450. And both of those were, the volumes were very large relative to the voice. Surprisingly large. So we think that we've been predicting this for a long time, because as I've told you before, voice is a subset of data, right? Only it's been packaged differently by most people. And what people are doing now is their communication needs are more and more taken over by data. People spend hours on the phone, but they spend even more hours on their computer emailing and IM and messengering. And so we see a demand for data that just keeps on going up.
And for you, data means more money, because comparison with voice is cheap.
Yeah.
In the telephony.
Data is also cheap with our prices. Yeah. but still.
In the future, do you intend to put voice like an Alexa with the data, free Alexa?
That's more our mentality, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Voice, you know, when you buy a PC and you connect to broadband internet, you do everything, including your voice traffic. You maybe use Skype, maybe use Yahoo Messenger, maybe use corporate voice. I mean, a lot of the corporates have voice over IP systems on their PCs, especially for roaming traffic, etc. And for us, our mentality is much more data-centric, not voice-centric. And one of the differences is if you make that assumption, then the way you see the world is very different than if you come from a predominantly voice world.
Come back to the push-to-talk service in Romania.
Push-to-talk works very well with certain segments who have a workflow to use that.
And a lot of discipline.
Yeah, and group working, so dispatching, construction, logistics. What's happened in Romania is Romania has adapted their way of doing business based on tariffing. And so push-to-talk worked very well when voice was more expensive. And what we see today with the businesses is the use of email and IM in addition to the voice. Normal voice call is still not a very efficient way to communicate in a business context. People tend to talk about more than what they called for, right? Yeah. So we see, we're working on a number of products
you abandon the push-to-talk.
For the Romanian market, we're not going to introduce the push-to-talk.